Good evening. It is Monday, October 28th, and this is the Development and Government Relations Committee for the City of Holyoke. Tonight we have Councilors Devine, Councilor Anderson Burgos, Councilor Sullivan, myself, Councilor Givner, and in the chambers we also have Councilor Bartley. We are missing one member, Councilor Ocasio. I'm not sure if she will make it, but I will make sure that it's known when she does. All right. I'd like to entertain a motion to take up item 1.
So moved.
Item 1, the minutes. How do we feel about the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Motion to take up item number 2 off the table?
All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 2 is the petition of Francisco Martir, food vendor license application for 415 Main Street that was tabled on September 30th. Is Mr. Martir on Zoom? I don't see anyone in the chambers.
I did reach out to invite him and I did not hear back.
Okay, then I would,
Motion to continue
Table.
the table. Item number 2.
all right, motion to table item number 2 to the next DGR meeting, which we agreed would be on November, sorry, Jeffrey, do you remember that date?
December 10th.
December.
December 10th. All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Chairman, before we
I'm
vote,
opposed.
and I'm sure Jeff does this, but just to get it on the record, that we table it with a letter to Francisco that we are meeting on the December 10th, and he should be here to talk about his order there.
Okay,
Because if we keep tabling it, it doesn't show or doesn't get
yeah,
Like a 2 or 3 strikes, you're out system.
Right.
Or something.
all right.
something like that.
Counselor Sullivan, you,
No.
no? Okay. So no to table. So that's 1 and 3, so that's passes to be tabled to December 10th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And 1 no.
Motion to take up item number 3 off the agenda?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So item number 3 is in order to declare Holyoke Assessor's Parcel at 285 Main Street, Holyoke, as a surplus property and sell to the abutter, Jonah Kaizen Torres, with an address of 10215 Jamaica Avenue, Richmond Hill, New York, for $15,000. This property is valued at under $35,000 and therefore exempt from procurement requirements. This item was tabled on September 30th. So I know I had a communication from Jeff Burkott in planning just to see if there was anything going on with this. He didn't have a lot of additional information. I do see Jana Kaizen on Zoom. Jana, would you like to speak on this?
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
I'm here. I just got out of class, so I'm to Zoom. But I'm happy to questions in regards to the property itself.
Okay, so generally, I know I would be interested in what your intentions are with the abutting lot. So please let us know.
Of course, so I've mentioned that my plan is essentially to close off the lot. Once the house door on 289 Main Street, that's the house that I purchased, once it gets fully renovated, my intention for the vacant lot would be just for parking for the time being. But it would definitely help to close off the lot, being as there's definitely a lot of trash that gets left behind, and anytime I come down to the property, I have to pretty much clean behind, and I may as well, I always clean next to it. So it definitely would help me as far as closing it off. It would help tenants in the future that live in the house, and just overall maintenance. And if, when we start work on the house, it'd be good once we close it off for any construction done. A vacant lot would definitely just help us out in that process.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Anderson Burgos?
Hi, Johanna, welcome. Question, is there any residents living there now on the property?
289, no. It's been vacant for a couple of years now. I just took ownership this March.
This March? Okay, and when are
Yes.
your plans, how soon will you have it up online?
As far as renovations,
No, just to have it rented, occupied.
well, right now the house in its entirety is very, very much in need of a lot of work. It may take a couple of years because I'm not sure if anybody knows how inside the home looks like, but there was a fire. There's
Okay.
absolutely nothing in the house itself. Everything essentially needs to be renovated from
Got it.
the commercial to the basement to the second and third and fourth floor. So it's definitely going to take some time. I don't have an estimation for how long until the house is up.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Devine?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you for being so young, to be honest with you, and wanting to purchase this property. And are you still serving in the Army?
Yes, ma'am. I
Yeah.
actually came back from, well, I'm in the reserves right now. I was active duty prior. But military, still happily serving.
Well, I just wanted to,
Yes, I'm still.
I just want to congratulate you on your foresight in coming to Holyoke and wanting to buy a vacant property. So, congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Counselor Sullivan?
Yeah. Thank you, Joanna. I'm just wondering here, you keep referring to this as a house, but when I look on the map here, it's an apartment
It's in
building.
here.
Yes, it is an apartment. Sorry for using the incorrect terminology. You're right, it is an apartment. Commercial and then 3 floors on top.
Okay, so, what, so the lot itself, is it intended for parking or open?
Yes. So we obviously would close it off and it would be turned into parking for the tenants that come to live on 289 Main Street. That's what my short-term goal is as of now. Once the house is up to par, turning it into parking. That's the initial plan. But if things change in the future and depending on how 289 Main Street goes, I do have intentions, but this is long-term, turning it into a single-family home. But it really just depends on how well Holyoke does. But it is a project for myself and my family that we took interest in because we do have family that lives in Amherst. So we definitely are constantly going back and forth.
So you lost me on that one. You have family living in that property now?
No.
No. I have family in Amherst, so it's not, for me, saying that, I don't want anyone to think that, because what I've heard in the past is that people take on projects and don't fully commit or go through with it. But me, that's why I chose Holyoke, because it was a good middle ground for me. If I was to move in, I have family close by, but it's more so showing my commitment that I don't intend on abandoning 289 Main Street at all.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Sullivan. Counselor Bartley?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Hi, Joanna. I'm David Bartley, so I'm just want to ask you a couple of quick questions. So you bought 289 Main Street. Did you have to take out a mortgage?
No, the home is fully paid off, sir.
Okay, so you paid cash for it?
I did.
You did. And for this property that you're considering, you're going to pay cash for it as well?
Correct, sir.
Okay, and what's your funding source? Is it you, or is it a team of people, or I mean, you said you're in the military, so I don't know how much they pay, but what's your source of funding for this? Is it money you saved up, or what is it?
Yes, ever since I joined the military, straight after high school, I've saved every single penny. That's how I was able to buy 289 Main Street, and I'm still continuing to save. I also I work in finance, so that's another job that I do have. And here at St. John's University, I'm able to use my GI Bill, so that's a little bit extra money that I get to save. So I do have multiple sources of income as far as paying off the home, well, the vacant lot.
Yeah, that's pretty admirable, as Councilor Devine said. So, in terms of the property, I mean, I'm familiar with only that I've gone by it enough times in my life, but it's in kind of rough shape, the 289. So, and 285 is basically an alley. So,
Yeah.
when can we reasonably, so you're going to purchase these two properties, and you're 127,000 in with 289. Now you're going to be another 15 in with 285. So when it's all said and done, you're probably 150 grand into the deals.
Mm-hmm.
So what's our sense in terms of getting something accomplished in that area?
Well, like I said, as far as investments goes, after spending the amount for the vacant lot next door, if I was to speak finances, I have about 70,000 left to start on. Well, my first, like I said, the intention is closing off the lot because we have too much littering happening around that area, and my biggest fear is getting tickets. So my first goal would be to close off the vacant lot, and then just starting on renovations. There's definitely a lot that needs to be taken out, so that's definitely gonna take some time as far as removing everything that's old inside the house. Pretty sure there was lead in there. Big fire, like I said. Everything, I would say noticeable differences, you won't really notice, but you would notice when you step inside of the property. But from the outside, the exterior part is you won't notice really until 2 years. But within the year, you could definitely notice interior changes for sure.
Oh, that's wonderful. And how is the roof okay?
Roof is okay. That was definitely one of our first things that we got fixed, roof, because there was a big hole and it was causing a lot of interior damage from the rainfall that was coming in. So that was one of the first things we did, was just change up the roof.
Yeah, that's great. And in terms of the lot before us, because I'm getting off base here, but in terms of the lot before us, are you talking about fencing it off, or what's our thinking at this point?
So fencing from the sidewalk, from when people come in, of course, because from what I've seen, people love to litter a lot, and I've done plenty of cleaning on the lot itself. That would be the only way for me to avoid people littering on the vacant lot itself. I would have to fence it. Not something where you can't see to the inside, probably something nice, like fencing that you would see in parks. Something that would make it look appealing. I don't want to put up some, I guess, lack of better terms, I don't want to put up ugly fencing. I want to make it look nice and clean and pretty much maintain the lot. That's my priority right now. The parking lot won't really come into effect until the house is pretty much up to be rented.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty excellent foresight. Are you going to put lights? Are you going to put floodlights back there? I mean, because people can hop fences, and so so even if they're motion lights, that would be good. And then just a couple last things. Is there anybody? Because you live up far away. Is there anybody in this area that's sort of monitoring the property for you?
My aunt, I have family that lives in Amherst, and I do have cousins that live in Holyoke itself. They usually let me know if something's going on, whether break-ins and things like that, but I do go every weekend to make sure that, nobody's breaking in. Cleaning up and maintenance is usually what I do every weekend. But we do visit it's a project between my family and I. Of course, I'm the one allocating the funding, but it is a project that my family and I are working on together.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's just kind of you're so far away, but at least you got somebody local that can sort of keep an eye on it.
Of course, yes.
And, yeah, I mean, I'm just glad that you're doing all this. You're taking on a lot, and especially when you're not feet on the ground here. But hey, I'll certainly support it, and we'll see what happens. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Counselor Devine, did you have another
No,
question?
I'm just going to make a motion that we accept the,
Okay, I still had a comment. So, is it Johanna or Jonna?
Joanna.
Joanna, okay, sorry about that. I'm not sure, have you been in touch with like the planning department already?
her letter
I
does state
have.
that.
Okay, good.
As far as I've been to the city hall in Holyoke, and I have visited within all the departments.
Okay, good, because I just wanted to make sure, like, I was in touch with planning and just, they have obviously parameters of what you can and can't do, and mentioned that it's probably in your best interest to join those lots, if it's gonna be one property, but I agree, and I congratulate you. I think it's a great idea, and of course, we always like to see properties taken over and start to be cleaned up and look a lot better, and yeah, it improves the neighborhood. So I'm happy you're choosing to invest in Holyoke.
Madam Chair?
Thank you, ma'am, thank you.
Counselor Bartley?
Just for, Jonah, how do you spell your first name?
It is Johna, but it's pronounced Joanna. I've been raised like that my whole entire life. Only when I learned to read did I realize that there's an A missing.
Okay.
But there's really no point in me doing
right.
all the changes just for a letter, so
No.
I kept it.
All right, thank you.
All right. Counselor Devine, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I'd make a motion that we accept the
Second.
proposal.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Congratulations.
Thank you, Johanna.
Congratulations,
Thank
Joanna.
you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
So-
Have a lovely evening.
Joanna, before you go, you still there?
Yes.
This will go, we're congratulating here, but this will go before the full council for a vote.
Sounds good, sir. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it once again.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
You too.
Take this out of order.
Motion to take items 6 and 7 out of order.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So item 6 and 7. Item 6 is DPW and HFD Alarm Division come into City Council to provide a status update on the crosswalk improvement plan and traffic signal improvement at Elmwood Towers on South Street. I recently heard from an HPD sergeant who's been tremendously helpful in mitigating the problems, who advised that the parts are in and work should soon commence. And 7, DPW and HFD Alarm Division, it's the same thing, so.
No, it's a
No, one's Holyoke Community and
different
one's,
Oh, sorry, a status update on the crosswalk improvement plan at the main gate of Holyoke Community College on Homestead Ave. Please also invite reps from the college.
You don't have to read all that.
Okay. Counselors, or Counselor Bartley?
Well, yeah, you did get a communication from Jeff today, so 6 is complied with, so we're all set with that one. So that one you can say, you can check the box.
I'd make a motion that item number 6 be complied with.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, thank you, because that's, the lights are in, everybody in Elmwood Tower is very happy now, so.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Item 7?
not getting hate mail anymore, just from there. Number 7 is something that we also got an update, and it would behoove us to read it as well. But I will also show. I think. Yeah. You got a couple updates on that. One is from Mr. Rossi and from Mr. Weller relative to the crosswalk. And so Mr. Weller has advised that so what we're trying, this goes across Homestead Avenue, Route 202 from the east side of Homestead to the west, and that goes right by it's at the main gate of HCC. And there is right now a flashing light that flashes yellow all day long. There used to be poles there, Councilor Devine, I remember, but they've been wiped out at least 3 times, and now just in my short tenure, and now there's no longer any signal lights. But you'll see what Jeff has put up on the computer. But before we get to that, and I really appreciate Jeff doing that so quickly. I just sent them that's a conceptual drawing of what we're planning, what's being planned. The, Mr. Weller from the fire alarm division, he's got, let me read what he said here first, so, boy, oh boy, here we go. Mr. Weller. Okay, Mr. Weller said that he's got the solar rapid flashing beacons stored at the Public Works. He can install them right away once the infrastructure on the project is completed. Regarding the project, the alarm division is not involved, and we know that. Okay, Carl said we need funding for design, consulting, construction. Well, we had the funding for all that, and the design's already in. So that's the design right there. So we have that. What we're looking for is the funding for the construction. We put it out to bid 7 years ago because it was approved under Mike McManus. And the bids, I guess, came too high, and then now it's a revolving door. It was a revolving door at that Department of Public Works. So it's helpful that Rep. Duffy's intrepid assistant is with us on this committee and on this board. Perhaps because this is a state highway, Route 202, perhaps there might be a way that the state rep could to get involved in this a little more hands-on, and we've got to find a way to get the financing across. So we had money. Where that money went, it might have gone puff, but we certainly had money a while ago to put it out to bid. I guess the bids came in too high. So, and this is kind of one of those crosswalks that maybe the five of us here don't use it that often, but I can assure you, people at the bottom of the screen in Elmwood Heights, they use it quite a bit, and you can see how the crosswalk is a little bit off center from where it used to be, and it's a nice little amenity, and it'll be a nice amenity for the campus because it'll connect to the little walkway. I promised I wouldn't bring up the fact that HCC has a foundation that's worth about $20 million, and one would think that they might consider chipping in. Everybody thinks it's a stupid idea except for me, but I don't think it's a stupid idea because I think it would possibly benefit the college, but the HCC doesn't want to hear it. So it's got to be a city project, but the city project needs some funding. So that's kind of where we are.
Where were the poles taken out? Were they taken out?
It's dead smack in the center of the screen. So it's
On that island?
no. Keep going down.
Jeff is, follow the hand.
Yeah,
follow
I
hand. Keep going. Right there. See the traffic islands?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so in traffic island there. Yeah, that's where I used to have my flowers.
That's right, yeah.
I used to have them there. Took my life in my hand wherever I would plant, but the traffic light was there. It got wiped out twice. The second time it wiped out all my flowers, I was crushed. And then they put a third one in, that one got wiped out. So
Too bad we can't put a rotary there. That would be fun.
yeah, please don't put a rotary. Please don't put a rotary. Please.
There'd be plenty of flowers in the middle.
No, nobody wants a rotary there. But what we do want is a safe crosswalk with rapid flashing beacons, so people could press the button, get across the street, which is, they're double lanes on either side, get across the street safely, and just go walk their dogs or do whatever it is they do on the HCC campus. So now that you're all oriented, that's a really nice design that Chris Baker helped develop that, and then of course Chris Gonzo Murphy, and then we've got this is what it is. So it would be nice if we could just sort of put our thinking caps on as to what to do. I mean, for right now. For right now, I mean, so we can't appropriate. We just have to find a way to get it funded, and maybe it's a combination of city or the Commonwealth
Madam Chairwoman.
chipping in. So that's all.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, it looks like you've been trying to do this since 2017.
Yes.
I don't know where we'd look, whether it would be DPW or the fire department. Look for grants. Maybe grants, and if it's a state road, maybe the state can do something as well. That's the only way I can think of, because obviously that's a big project to do with Holyoke's budget, I would think.
Cocaine?
Sorry, Counselor Barton?
Yeah, I think, just through the chair, yeah, I think you're right. We do have, we could bond. That's a way to think about it. A bond, not just for that, but there might be some other projects worth considering bonding. We also have the infrastructure funds that we use now elsewhere, so that might be able to, our stabilization, not the main stabilization, but the infrastructure stabilization. That might be another way to do it, or there might be a way with something from the Commonwealth. I don't know. I'm just hopeful that we can get something tangible to put this on a docket, because this is another source of hate mail that I get quite a bit. So it would be great if before I fade into the sunset where I belong, that it would be nice just to see if we could get this done. I'd really like to figure out a way.
Counselor Bartley, how many people cross this street every day?
People use the gym. You forgot to mention, people use the gym.
Counselor Bartley, how many people use this crosswalk?
Yeah, I don't have an official study for you for sure.
Yeah.
But
But it sounds like a lot from what I'm hearing.
But if you know the area, that's a heavily trafficked road,
Yeah.
and a lot of students, do use that.
Yeah. Is there a bus stop there too somewhere
Oh, yeah.
probably? Yeah. Okay. I was just curious.
There's I forgot the PVTA number that goes up there.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's got to be
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of
Oh, there's-
traffic. Okay.
Yeah, it's 18-wheelers, and it's kind of a runway sometimes for speeders. But if there's ever a place to have a kind of a flashing beacon and get the crosswalk in, so we definitely need Mass DOT involved with it, and that's where Rep. Duffy would really come in handy to get her to sort of get this sort of focused on it. I think that might be somewhat helpful.
So Counselor, Counselor Anderson Burgos.
I think, yes, Mass DOT is definitely the direction, and I could possibly contact District 2, which is located in Northampton, and I've actually built a relationship with them already, discussing other items that we were addressing. So I can definitely reach out to our contact.
So,
That's great.
Counselor Bartley, would you want to leave this in here while more work is done on it, or would we?
No, because I think just having these updates right now, but it'd be good at some point we have to hear from Carl, and we got to figure out a way to finance it. So I would say,
So you don't,
I would say comply with, and
and then rework it? Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You want it to be complied with and then resubmit it once everything's in place?
Well, since we have the design, we know there's a need, and now we just have to figure out a way to finance it. And we got two at-large counselors here. Juan knows the whole deal with it, Mass DOT.
Right.
So hopefully we've got some advocates involved, and we can see if we can find the funds. I mean, it sounds silly, doesn't it, just to put in a crosswalk, and we already have the rapid flashing beacons, and our guys can install them.
Yeah.
What sounds silly to me is
What's the
that
holdup?
this already got done and it didn't get done.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's government for you,
But it sounds like the funding was in place, the plan is in place,
It was
like
bid.
all the things that you thought would.
the job was bid.
Oh, and no one took the bid?
No, they bid. It just came in high.
I see,
And
okay.
according to Mike McManus, I never saw them. but
Gotcha.
I'm-
That was
but
my
Mike-
misunderstanding.
Mike was on top of things.
Okay.
Just a question, please.
Counselor Devine?
Yeah. Are we looking for a crosswalk? Is that basically it?
And flashing beacons.
I thought we have the flashing beacon, though.
We have
We
the
have that.
rapid flashing beacons.
So now we need the crosswalk.
Yeah, so you got to put the ADA ramps in. You can see them right here.
Yep,
The ADA ramps. There's 1, 2, 3, 4,
okay.
and then see what they did. They also got this nice little amenity on the college campus too. So this is a nice little, the sidewalks, which I think it'll be helpful. And, you know, HCC sitting on 20 million bucks, but they don't want to spend it. So, okay, so we got to figure out a way to do that. And this is where I have my flowers, and this is all a mess, and they're going to possibly clean that up. But the main thing is to put her a crosswalk and the rapid flashing beacons and just make it safer.
And the reason I'm asking the beacon, who's going to be putting in the beacon? The
HFD Alarm Division.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe what we can do with this order is to say that, ask the alarm division, of course, it's getting cold in winter, so I'm not sure how they'll be able to do it, but that the alarm division put in the beacon and the DPW put in the crosswalk, if possible.
Well, and I agree with you, but because it's a Commonwealth highway,
Yeah,
we need some cooperation from Mass DOT. too.
well, we could give it to them, sure.
So,
All right.
okay, so that's my story.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
How are we feeling about this story, guys?
Yep.
Well, it's a long story. I wish it was a short story, but it's a long one, so.
Well, hopefully we can get something going.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone, yeah.
So complied with? Motion to comply with?
Like,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Let's go backwards.
Arrivederci.
Motion to take up item number 4.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4, public hearing of Salmar Realty on proposed coffee shop, South Street. The latest communication I received was that they would also not be here today because there was a planning board meeting that was, I believe, last week. I did not get an update from that planning board meeting. So my understanding is that there's no new information to share with us, but they did want to table it again. But there is something in process. It's not just getting tabled eternally. Counselor Devine?
Yeah, that was my question. First thing it says is public hearing on June 6, 2023. I don't know if that public hearing was ever closed.
It was not.
It was
I
not.
tried.
So that seems like a long time year and a half to do a public hearing. And if it's still a public hearing, are we supposed to notify the newspapers or whatever? Do you know what I'm saying? That's what you normally do.
I think
And-
it's my understanding with the initial public hearing, that is the public hearing notice. And
That's
as things
enough.
are tabled, those involved would follow the tabled meetings.
Because this has been tabled 11 times.
Right. Well, it is being held up in planning, so, or not by planning, but Levesque Associates and our planning board, I guess, have been going back and forth with one another about details, and I guess it's just taking more time than expected.
And can I ask one more question? On item number 4, it says, special permit for a proposed coffee shop drive-through restaurant at South Street Plaza, and then from their architect, it says it's a Dunkin' Donuts.
It is.
So should that item 4 be corrected so it says Dunkin' Donuts rather than proposed coffee shop drive-through?
I don't think it matters, honestly. I mean, they pulled a permit for a coffee shop. You know, when you pull the permit, it's not specific for a chain just because you're bought into a chain.
But doesn't a permit expire?
They
Sorry,
did-
I should ask.
They haven't even got the special permit yet. It's an application.
Okay.
That's why it's here.
Since May 31st, 2022.
I mean, I don't think there's a whole lot we can do about it right now, other than leave it here. We can't, it's my understanding, or I'm under the impression that there is work being done on this, that it has been in planning. There's a lot of work being done between planning and Levesque Associates, so I think it would not make sense to throw it out, because then we just have to start this process over again.
Okay.
What?
I'm sorry.
Counselor Sullivan?
So a question there, why not start the process over? I mean, 12 times tabled, 12 times.
I agree.
And
They're not here.
they're not here. We got to communicate, we got another
Get
communication.
the same communication, yeah.
12 times. When they want to get serious about it, they can start over. I mean.
I was going
file
to
for
suggest we
it.
check with the law department. Can we give this leave to withdraw? 12 times is a lot.
Attorney Bissonnette,
Oh, that's right, he's here.
we would like your legal expertise, sir. So I guess, have you heard our questions about what we can or cannot do with this item 4?
Yes, I'm familiar with it, the proposed Dunkin' Donuts South Street Plaza. I know there are a number of concerns with water runoff and as well as sewer capacity in that area. And there's also an ongoing state plan to rearrange and redo that entire intersection area, better coordinate the traffic patterns, make it a little safer. I'm not sure what the timetable is on that, but that may have something to do with the delays on this. As for leave to withdraw, that's a request made by the applicant.
Okay.
So absent that request, because it has legal consequences on being able to reapply, absent that request, the committee's not able to take any action other than voting it down. You could do that vote without prejudice to allowing them to reapply. Generally on these things, there's a 2-year waiting period. But I think in this instance, given the circumstances and that planning hasn't moved it forward, and it's been on your docket for 2 years, a fair thing to do would be to just defeat it, vote it down, and then or give it, vote it down without prejudice, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So vote it down without prejudice, and that would allow them to refile when they're, as Councilor Sullivan pointed out, when they're actually have intentions to go forward. Does that help? Any other questions?
Thanks, Attorney Bissonnette. Counselor Devine had a question, and then Counselor
Counselor, when you say vote it down, are you saying vote to deny it, or vote no, with,
Vote to
without
deny it.
prejudice?
Vote to deny it without prejudice.
Prejudice,
Right.
okay, thank you.
Counselor Sullivan?
Yeah, Attorney Bissonnette, what if we just close the public hearing?
You could do that and postpone a decision on it, take it under advisement. The problem is when you're going to make a decision, you're limited into what information you can consider. So let's say next month, planning decides it's a go, gives them approval. You would not necessarily have the benefit of that in a public hearing unless perhaps you could reopen it to accept new information.
Did you understand that?
I believe so.
I think I confused him more than
Can you
explained it.
can you
I think I
re-explain
confused
it?
myself.
Layman's terms.
Which is the cleaner way to do it?
Yeah.
Would closing the public hearing, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that would be your best move, to close it, and then take it under advisement as to the decision. There's no immediate hurry for you to make a decision. You can postpone it to a date certain, and keep reporting it that way. I think, I heard earlier, your next meeting is in December. And at that point, you might want to take action because you'll have given notice that you intend to do so.
So I'm hearing 3 different things now. Counselor Bartley,
Okay, can I add a fourth thing?
please.
I agree with everything you said, everything Mike said, everything Patty said, everything our Mike said. The only thing I would ask as a fourth thing, we regularly put it to the next DGR meeting. But that doesn't mean you have to. You can continue it to 2 meetings down the road. If you know, instead of December 10th, do you have a meeting set for January?
Not yet, yeah.
Or February? I mean, I don't know. I mean, put it this way, I strongly, because all they're doing is wasting your time and my time. That's what they're doing. And the discourtesy of just dropping a letter and never coming here, except for one time they came here and they weren't even prepared. Their engineers, they weren't prepared, and we had 10,000 questions, they couldn't answer any of them. So, I mean, that would be another option, so you don't have to waste the committee's time anymore. And I can say the planning has taken this up now at least 6 times, according to their records. So,
I was just looking for the last communication I got regarding this from OPED, and I don't have it in front of me, but the reason I said to table it one more time is because I am under the impression that they were supposed to be finding solutions and having a final decision out of planning from the last week meeting. But since I didn't get any response, it makes me wonder if that did not happen and if they're still figuring things out. So I guess it leaves us back at either putting it 2 meetings out, or Counselor Devine, you have another idea?
I would make a motion to close the public hearing
I know it's,
and have that done. And then if you want to send it to the planning board, that kind of puts the onus on them to do what they're supposed to do, because we've closed the public hearing. That would be my idea to do.
Counselor Sullivan?
Yeah, I agree with Counselor Devine. One last question, so Attorney Bissonette, all the hangups right now, be they with sewer, be they with water, be they with runoff, right? This is going to be subject to them getting a building permit. This is what's before us is a permit for a donut shop, a special permit, right?
drive-through.
A drive-through, right? So any other information coming forward regarding any of this is really part of their process of having to get a building permit. So for me right now, why not just close the public hearing? That doesn't mean we have to vote right now on the issuing the permit or not, but we've had, let's close the public hearing. That's it.
Make a motion to close the public hearing and
Hold on.
send to,
So Attorney Bissonette, that was one of the options that would not cause us any problems, correct?
That would make sense.
Okay.
I concur with Mr. Bartley that there is no requirement you go to your next meeting. You can continue it to a date certain as far in the future as you schedule. I would note that, much like cases in court, that should things progress to the point where a decision is needed by council, then let's say it was scheduled for March, you could certainly bring it forward to a meeting in January.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Bissonette. Jeff?
Yeah, just a quick note. I was looking at the calendar, and if you close the public hearing today, 90 days would take you to the last full week in January.
okay.
Okay, thank you. I guess we'll be, so is that the will of the body to push it to a date in January?
Yes.
Okay, so let's,
The motion would be to close the public hearing with I can't think of the word I want to use, to,
discuss date certain in January, which we don't
January.
have yet.
yeah,
It's our,
90 days after the close of the public hearing.
okay. What's that date that you have right now, Jeffrey?
So 90 days is 1 day short of 13 weeks. So 90 days would actually take you to Sunday, January 26th. So really the week before that. So the week of the 20th through the 24th. The thing is that with closing a public hearing, tabling doesn't require a date certain the way continuing a public hearing does. So
I see.
you're not necessarily tied to a specific date.
Okay, we close the public hearing, we can table this item and then take it up whenever planning submits documents and Levesque is ready to talk about this? I guess that's, okay, that's a affirmative.
I have a quick question. This is fairly new to me. If we close the public hearing, does this automatically go to planning?
It's already in planning.
Yeah, but like as a reminder?
Oh,
You know, maybe we can
No.
have our administrative
we'd have to
assistant
okay.
communicate that we've closed the public hearing.
All right. So the motion is to close the public hearing, table this item, and send a notification to planning for follow-up with the permit applicant.
Yep.
Something else? Counselor Sullivan?
Yeah,
Almost.
I'm sorry, I'm, well, so we close the public hearing,
We're trying to, we haven't done it.
yeah.
I already made the motion.
That's really all
so-
we have to do.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The only
But we
reason
want to
I
make
said-
sure to get the notification to planning so that they know we've closed the public hearing.
Yep,
That's all.
all right.
Yeah.
All right. So do I get a second on that?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Give me a second here to write this down.
motion to take up item 5 and remove item 40 from the table and
Second.
take as a package.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Give me a second, sorry. Planning and table. Okay. So item 5, from Councilors Bartley and Sullivan, the Conservation Commissioner be invited to attend a future DGR meeting to provide an update on the construction in and around Scotts Tower. Please be prepared to address the issue of water runoff to the pond owned by the abutter at 5 and 15 Lindor Heights. And then item 40, we're taking out, where is it? Oh, it's at the end.
Yeah, it's,
That was easy. Also by Councilors Bartley and Sullivan, the procurement office present any contracts relative to the Anniversary Hill Scotts Tower project by and between the city, Kestrel Land Trust, the CPA committee, et cetera, to the city council via communication by the first meeting in September, which has passed. If possible, please email the documents to city council admin assistant as early as possible. Councilor Sullivan?
Yeah, so we don't have the people with the information for item number 5. I'd ask that we table that. And just as far as item 40 goes, that we join the two of these together really and resend a copy of this to the procurement department.
Second.
So that we have the stuff available for the next meeting together with the agenda item 5.
I think that's a good idea. All in favor? Oh, sorry, Councilor
I
Devine?
just had a question, or a comment, really. Definitely, we have to combine both of these, because I know that the neighbors in Lindor Heights do want to attend a meeting, and unfortunately, they're not able to do that tonight. But we also have pictures, and my understanding is Councilor Bartley may have a video of the situation. David, am I correct?
I do, yeah.
You do. So maybe when we do have this meeting next, we can notify the abutters of, on Lindor Heights, with a video, be able to do the video on the screen as well as the pictures that Mr. Thank you. He's going to give me them tomorrow. And then there's the name of the, if you're going up Lindor Heights, the first right.
Discal?
No, the first one would be the Joe, I can't think of his last name, but he wants to be involved. And his house is up on the hill. So if you turn into Lindor, it's right up there. It's way, way up there. So Joe O'Neill, maybe? So that way we can get this going and have all the parties in, and we have a new procurement officer, so that's a good thing. And I think it's a good order. Hopefully it can be taken care of, but it's getting to be winter time, so I don't know how much they're going to be doing. And should that be Area 2 as well with the DOT? Yeah. And invite the Department of Transportation, Area 2?
District 2.
District 2, okay, to the next meeting.
Okay, I think that sounds good. Counselor Sullivan?
Yeah, and as far as getting copies of any contracts or anything, I think this is meant, but it says CPA, but I think it should also be CDBG as well. There was a variety of funds used in planning and the layout for this project.
And Counselor Bartley?
Yeah, does anybody remember how we did this? The $300,000 CPA? Anybody? Yeah.
So I can, may I?
Sure.
I
Counselor Sullivan?
believe, Counselor Bartley,
I
there was
do remember how
that there was a split. There was 150 and 150 from Kestrel.
Oh. And when you say from Kestrel, that was the companies that worked on this?
Well, the question I've got is who contracted, who actually
Hold on.
awarded the contract? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
this
done.
is just concerning my mother, but let me just be very, very brief. So,
Sure.
the city CPA, paid off. So Kestrel bought it, Kestrel, and then the city reimbursed Kestrel. So Kestrel did, I think, the initial bidding on all this, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't have all the records because the CPA, ultimately paid for it. So we deserve all the records, and we need to see what promises were made in the contract and what insurances were in place if the promises goofed up. So the chair went up there, Councilor Sullivan's been up there, I've been up there multiple times, Councilor Devine's gonna go up there to Overlook Drive, and when you see what happened, it was a very preventable situation with a simple fix that didn't get done. And this project manager is in-house here. So something went wrong. And now there's a negative impact on what should be a kind of a pristine body of water. And it's upsetting. It's upsetting. So that's kind of where we are, and we want to get to the bottom of it.
And thank you, Counselor Bartley.
All right.
Okay. I just wanted to add, since I know my memory is not the best, that there was a communication regarding a neighborhood meeting, and I just wanted to remind us as part of this so that when we do take this up on October 28th, today's October 28th, on December
December 10th.
10th, that we did have a neighborhood meeting that was held on site August 26th. It was attended by several members of the Conservation Commission, GZA, Mass West, a couple counselors, including Counselor McGrath-Smith of Ward 7 and myself, and we toured Anniversary Hill Park accessible trail site, and there was a review of the chronic runoff challenges for the ponds, and we discussed possible measures for improving the water quality, including deployment of aeration devices, reducing neighborhood fertilizer use, and considered the value of developing a watershed plan. It was agreed at that meeting that Carrie Dumbaugh of 23 Dixell Lane would collaborate with me. This letter was from Yoni, so with Yoni Glogauer and Conservation, and other neighbors to research these options and bring forth a proposal for a future city council meeting. So it seems like there's a lot of things in the works here, and I think it's a good idea that this all get taken up together. All right, great. So what's the motion?
This is the one, that was so long. That's the one for the Lindor Heights area.
Correct.
That we invite I think it's, what did I say? Procurement officer and the is it Area 1, Area 2?
District.
District
District
2.
2 of the Department of Transportation.
So the motion is to take up items 4 and 5 at the December 10th meeting and invite the District 2 DOT,
Mass DOT, District 2, Northampton.
the procurement officer, conservation, and the neighborhood citizens. Ugh.
You want some bubble gum?
No.
A Tootsie Roll. Okay. You okay? I'll second that.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Now I'm just gonna fall over. All in favor?
Madam Chairman, I don't know if we have anything else, but I just looked over item 11, and I'm wondering why, what we do to get this taken up. It seems like that they're gonna pay us a lot of money for some property, and I don't know, I wasn't here with some reasons why it was tabled, it's item 11.
Counselor Sullivan?
Yeah, through the chair. It was tabled, number one, because the offer was so low. And I've saved the article in the paper where
Sorry.
for lack of a better term, where Boston, where the Commonwealth is saying how much more valuable now these pieces of real estate are with all the decarbonization efforts and stuff like that. And I wish Councilor McGivern was around to tell me exactly which state slush fund, chapter 199, that those funds, but we're given it, we have 60% of Holyoke as green space already, and we get a pittance for this that now the state claims is worth so much more, but they're not willing to pay a dime more for. So that's the number one reason. And then the number two reason is we have some other potential industrial development targets where you have to trade off a piece of wetland at the ratio or endangered species or any one of the other half dozen things that go along with it for 2 and sometimes 3 times as much land. So if you want another 10 acres for industrial, you have to give up 20 or 30 someplace. If we just give it up now, we lose that playing card. All right?
So right now, we're just waiting to see if the state comes back to us to give us a better offer. Okay.
Or we have some other project that we can tie the trade-off to.
Okay.
Because right now, it's not hurting anything just sitting there either.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you. I was just curious.
So
Is that a motion to,
Motion to adjourn?
second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everyone. Sorry for almost choking to death. Have a good night.
I know CPR.
And thank your mom.
I will.